We're here on the rooftop of the Santa Croce University, right next to the Piazza Navona. 25 years ago, they founded the School of Church Communications. And with us today is the Dean of this faculty, Daniel Arasa. Thank you very much for being with us. Maybe you can tell us a little bit more about church communications, why this is important, and what exactly are you specialized here at Santa Croce?
Well, we were born in 1996, this 25 years ago. At that time there were no communication offices in many of church institutions. So we saw really a need to fill that gap. And from the beginning we have been trying to prepare people that will be responsible for communications of church institutions of all kinds, spokespersons for the bishops, conferences, for dioceses, religious congregations, editors of Catholic media, and also people that will be covering the Catholic Church as a journalist, but knowing the Church from inside.
And from where do your students come?
They come from all over the world. We have currently around 120 students, but we had already more than 600 alumni spread all over the world. We have more than 50 countries, nationalities among our students.
Over the last 25 years, communication did change a lot. The digitalization, the age of online, the age of the internet also. How did this influence, how did this change your work? How did this change communication for the church in general?
From a quantitative point of view, it has changed a lot. There are many more resources, many more websites, more people dedicated to this area. I think that with the digitalization has changed also the preparation and the formation that people need. One element that I would remark is the importance of listening. The church now is an institution more in an environment, and particularly in the social media, that requires listening, proposing, accepting criticism, and I think this is something that we still have to learn more in the church.
The patron saint of this school here is Santa Catarina di Siena. Can you tell us a little bit more about this?
Santa Catarina di Siena is the patroness of Italy, the patroness of Europe, is also the patroness of our School of Church Communications. She lived in the 14th century, which was a troubled time for the church. As you remember, the Pope was in exile in Avignon, and she played a great role in bringing back the Pope to Rome. She was very outspoken defending the church in the public arena, so it's an example for any church communicators, so we decided to ask her to be our patroness.
What would you say are the most pressing topics that the church needs to communicate well today to the public?
I think the church needs to improve his way of presenting to people as a merciful institution. Some people still see the church as an institution with rules, imposing a morality, which is not true. And I think Pope Francis is doing a great effort in this aspect. But we as communicators need to help in this activity, in this action, of showing the real face and the real interior life of the church, which is mercifulness.
You also engage in research projects. Can you tell us a little bit more about the academic side, the scientific side of the school here?
Of course, as a school of communications, we try also to improve and to develop research. We created in 2006 a journal, Church Communication and Culture. It's a journal in English, open access journal, published by Routledge. And with these journals, we try, I think it's very interesting the name of the journal. These three elements, church, communication and culture, are like a triad that shows the nature and the interdisciplinary approach of the journal. Still in some environments, church communications is seen as something churchy, preachy, just for priests, which is not true at all. And we want with this journal and with our research to put the church communications discipline at the same level of any other social science.
Thank you very much. All the best for your school for the next 25 years. Maybe allow me this last question. Where do you see church communication will go over the next 25 years?
It's difficult to say what will happen in the next 25 years because the communications is changing so fast. But there is a trend that I think is already seen in the church, which is this culture of communications in the church, this culture of dialogue, this culture of listening, and I think this is a trend that will have a big impact because the church will be an example, or can be an example, in a society which is very polarized. with lots of conflicts. We have now the war in Ukraine, but not only this, in politics, in society in general, there's a big polarization. I think the church needs to be an example to show how people can talk even with different ideas.
Daniel Arasa, thank you very much.
It was a pleasure. Thank you so much.